before you continue though, the reason that this is being recorded at the moment is because we just had a conversation where I mentioned that Lucas was actually right. And I did, in fact, start liking the touch bar. I'm like, I can't imagine not having it. And he goes, oh, really? I don't even use mine. Hey, everyone, and welcome to Special Features for Roman numeral, the return.
Evolved essentially into just a pickups program.
Yeah, well, also talking about future episodes as well. And this meeting, actually, when I was writing it up earlier, not only because of the implications of the Halloween series, the return of Michael Myers, obviously the return of the Pink Panther, I guess, whatever. There's a few of them. It actually specifically has a meaning though as well, because there is obviously a solo video that I did that will be right before this, and people might think the band is splitting up. So, it's the return of Waish.
Insert the scene of Nick Massey throwing things, starting his own group and leaving.
So I mentioned it in the video that that was not the case, but now even
though everybody was rooting for
it. Yeah, for sure.
Everybody was like, "Thank God." That's what was really bringing the channel down. They're
like, "This one is still intolerable, but but we can deal with it, I guess." So it actually had a real meaning. It started out as a joke, and it's like, well, now it has a real meaning. But
hilarious.
Two things I want to talk about before we get into our show and tell, though. One is, unfortunately, Gilbert Gottfried died, and he wasn't as important to me
as Bob Saget.
So obviously we weren't going, nothing against Gilbert Gottfried, but I'm sure there's people out there that feel very strongly about him, and definitely I have nostalgia for the man. I mean, he's Iago in Aladdin. But I didn't have quite to the extent that I was like, we have to have a what is it called? I want to call it an in memoriam, but that's not right. What was the Bob Saget one called?
I don't know.
It was a tribute. There we go. I had to go and look on the channel and see what I put it under. So yeah, not necessarily a tribute to him, but he was extremely funny, and I believe he was only 68 years old. Mm-hmm. That's a year younger than my dad. And he did have an illness, though, a heart illness. So it was sort of like a long time coming. So rest in peace, Gilbert. You will be missed. And I actually, second thing I wanted to briefly mention is I came across these in a drawer when I was looking for things, and actually I came across something else too, which I didn't bring it down because I didn't buy it, but it was the GameCube version of Resident Evil Nemesis, which I've had it for years. I never sold it. Yeah, apparently. Which that was awesome, but that was like finding $120 in a drawer, because that's what it goes for. I came across GameCube. These, so all these oh my god, these slews of tickets, movie tickets that I've had over the years. And it is like I keep doing this, unfortunately, but Michael Jackson, this is it. This is it. Here I stand. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, it's just a lot of really crazy stuff in there. Bruno.
Oh God.
I mean, it's literally tons of things. My God, if it wasn't so hard to pick these things up off the ground. Some of them not so great. There was a period of time that me and Anthony went and just saw pretty much everything. Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, Lucas's favorite movie, Alice in Wonderland.
I don't know why that's my favorite,
but there's also like some bad ones too, like Sorority Row.
Ew.
Yeah. Good shit right there.
Batman versus 3D.
Yeah. He's really angry about it. He's like,
Star
you will
Wars
not
3D.
You will not put me in 3D. Yeah, see, this is like a time capsule because it's from the time where things released in 3D. Remember that?
Yeah, where there was like a romantic comedy would be released in 3D for some reason. I mean, everything.
Yeah. And nothing releases in 3D anymore. So
yeah,
I don't know.
It's stupid.
I don't know what.
I mean, I got to a point where I just stopped seeing 3D movies altogether and I just saw the 2D version of like everything.
I don't know what James Cameron's going to do when Avatar 2 through 7 comes out.
What, in 2047?
Yeah. Well, the second one, the second one's got to be coming because he has like 6 of them planned, I think. I think there's going to be 7 of them altogether, including the first one.
Yeah, they said that back in like 2008 or 2009.
So, yeah, there's one for Lucas. Anyway, but speaking of Scream, that would have been cool.
I think we need to get to some of our pickups here, Brandon. I have a lot to show off here.
I think that you can start doing it, and I will just show these to the camera.
All right, that's fine. So this first one here. Oh,
good for you. And how was it?
Oh my God.
Walking on set, la di 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 da. Terminator Salvation.
Oh yeah, I figured it out. So you have this one. Do you have it yet? I don't remember. I think you said you did, but I couldn't remember. Get that shit out of here. I don't want to see Transformers. Oh, I'll look at that one. 2011. What is that? 10? Oh, so that's
no, it is
20. That's 2010. That's part 1.
Yes.
Part 2 is July of 2011.
Yep, you're right. It says it at the bottom. I never saw the second one in theaters. So I don't like that movie.
I don't care.
You
didn't like Scream 5?
Huh?
I'm just kidding.
I do have it, but why didn't you ever get the Steelbook? They're still available on the website.
Because I already have it, and I'm not returning this. I don't care. I don't care. Remember our last conversation? If I already have it, I'm not gonna go out of my way to re-get it. It was sold out the whole time. That's why I got that version. And then all of a sudden they have them in the store.
I told you before you picked it up.
Brandon, I got this on Amazon. This isn't from Best Buy.
It hadn't arrived yet, though. But fortunately for you, which would have made sense, returning things to Amazon is the quickest, easiest thing in the world. You just drop it off at UPS and then go on with your life. I get it,
but I don't care that much.
Well, this is actually a really good lesson for anybody watching. And actually,
like if it was the Harry Potter Steelbook, sure, that's one thing. But
it's an investment.
I just care more about the movie than
it's a collection and an investment. In fact, I bought 2 Spider-Man No Way Home Steelbooks off of Best Buy and really anybody watching this shouldn't be I shouldn't be saying this, but luckily we only have a few viewers, so it's not like it's going to actually do anything. But I bought 2 of them, which I usually do to make sure that I can get one without a spine slash or any other damage. And they were both in good condition. And I sold the other one. I purchased it for $30. I sold it for $97.
So you're part of the problem. You're buying up the stock that's already there, and then you're reselling it
again.
Oh, God,
I purchased 2 of them, and
that's
my
one
options,
less for somebody who could have got it from Best Buy when they wanted it.
I always do it. You know how many Screams I had to buy?
I don't want to know.
We're up to 8 at the moment.
You're fucked up,
and this is still not good. So this is the biggest issue.
You know what? I'm glad that I have this shitty slipcover with the stupid Rotten Tomatoes logo on it. And that sounds like a living hell. And I'm not willing to participate.
This one had those stupid logos on it too. But yeah, it started with Halloween Kills with this. Steelbooks used to not always be in this type of condition. I have a feeling that they're making them in a different factory now. Because Halloween Kills, I had to purchase one off of eBay for like $80, I think, to finally get one that was in good condition. And that was a gamble. You know, I bought it and I was like, I hope this is finally one in good condition. And it was. So that was the first time where every single one was just bad. Every single one had spine slashes, bent corners, literally like somebody had like just taken like a pen and just jabbed it into the middle of them. I mean, you name it. And luckily these Scream Steelbooks, they have copious amounts of them. So yeah, I've been able to purchase 8 of them. And this one is the best one I've ever received, but because like I'm done returning. I'm gonna end up on their list, obviously.
I was about to say, you might actually like get arrested. Anyway, you're disgusting. That is
arrested for what?
They've never seen somebody return so many things so many times that they think that you're doing some retail fraud ring.
First off, they're not open. They get returned still sealed. And secondly, I wish I was the only one. I wish. So I've encountered many other people just like me, unfortunately, in the Facebook Steelbook groups. And this is an ongoing issue only with Best Buy. So every other company out there, they have a way of doing it and not damaging their product. So it's simply just Best Buy, as we saw firsthand with those Lego Skywalker.
Yeah, so the next game that we're going to show off here, we both picked up this game. It's going to be the Lego Star Wars. So this motherfucker texts me a picture saying that they just handed him a Steelbook that was unwrapped or whatever, and he says, count your lucky stars, you got it online. I'm like, oh, ha, 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 ha. So I opened the box and it was just this in the middle of a box. So it's got my fingerprints on it, and it's got a little scratch
so
up here. But surprisingly, there's nothing on the spine because I looked at it. And
this is an example of exactly how they treat their Steelbooks before wrapping them up. So this one just didn't get wrapped up, but yeah, this is how they treat them. They throw them down onto probably concrete and metal. And what is that?
That was a hair.
Yeah, here's mine here. I haven't opened it.
Why didn't you open it?
Because I have other things to do with my life.
Are you ever gonna open it, or are you just gonna keep it sealed on your shelf?
I haven't had time to play it yet.
So my quick 3-sentence thoughts.
Yes,
it's pretty nostalgic. There's some pretty cool upgrades. It's a lot of fun. Notice I didn't gush about it. but I didn't trash it either. It's just pretty good. Oh God.
It's good. Great movie.
So here, just keep showing off. I have some other things to show here. So I was talking to my buddy. I like to go to 2 used game stores about every 2 weeks. I'll go to one and then I'll go to the other. Pick up a couple games at each one. Again, I like to pick up games when they're in their like on the way out, for example. Like 360 and PS3 games are still pretty cheap, but they're starting to go up a little bit. Nice. But Xbox One and PS4 games are basically the cheapest they're ever going to be.
Okay.
Actually, they might actually be a little more cheaper when the PS5 is finally fucking readily available in stores. But who knows? So anyway, I picked up this game. It was $10. I guess that was a good deal because I guess it goes for like 40 in the stores still. And that's Tom Hanks Pro Skater 1 and 2 Remastered. Did you get this?
I do have it, yeah, for PS4.
Did you like it?
I did like it. Tom Hanks.
A lot of people. Oh, Tony Hawk. I thought it said. I got the T's and H's mixed up.
I don't even know what that was. Anyway,
that was a joke.
Anyway,
so this was from Vicarious Visions.
I thought it was a cool
Crash Bandicoot people.
That's good. That's
good.
It definitely brought me back to my childhood, and it was good.
Yes. So I did pick that one up as well. Let me see what other cheap games. Do you have any more? What other games do you have to show off besides your copy of Nightfire that didn't work, or Agent Under Fire, whatever it was?
No, keep going. Oh yeah. I mean, it works. It just doesn't play the cutscenes.
So I mean,
so here's this edition 1
very
of
beautiful.
2. Yeah, and again, I have to go back and say I am not part of the problem. Okay.
I was about to say, I was literally just thinking, I'm gonna put in the description, Brandon admits he's part of the problem.
It literally, you bombarded me with stupidity. But yeah, no, the people that are part of the problem are the ones that they purchased as many as they can possibly get, which it lets you do 2 at a time, to try and limit this issue, but you can just go in and do it again, right? And I always buy off the bat, and I've said this many times, that I always buy 2 of them off the bat. Always. I've been burned way too many times. And for anybody thinking that like, oh, he's just being, anal and particular and
pretentious. He's an elitist.
Like pretentious and OCD, which yes I do have that. I'm diagnosed, so go fuck yourself. But this is the case for all Steelbook collectors. They look for it to be in as perfect condition as possible, realistically speaking. Spine slashes for me are my big issue, because it makes them worth nothing in the grand scheme of things. And as I have shown,
but I mean, what's it worth to you though? I mean, is it only worth it if it's still monetarily
spine
good?
Slash, it's worth $0 to me. To me.
But I mean, you're still not happy to just even own the movie?
Nope.
Like you're obsessing more about how it looks on your shelf than even enjoying the movie.
100%.
So it sounds like you're being a shelf collector at that point. Like, which, don't get me wrong, I love the way the mantelpieces look over the fireplace. It's very grandiose.
Yeah.
But sometimes you just gotta take what you can get. I mean, as good as you, like you said, realistically speaking, sure, but
yeah, some of them I have to allow in. Like, No Way Home has a bit of a they didn't like polish something correctly, so you can see it's like, I'm trying to think of like a word for it. It's not there's like a spot that's not shiny, and I was like, you know what, that's fine. But yeah, I mean, there's people that are worse than me, but if I ever sell off pieces of my collection, which I do have to sell some things off because I upgraded from Blu-ray to 4K, obviously, and I have tons of Blu-ray Steelbooks that I have no room for, and somebody else would like them, I'm sure. And the fact that they're in perfect condition, they're going to go for much more money. So it's like, that's what I want. Obviously, I want it to be I want everything to be in perfect condition. I mean, we discussed how
I mean, I don't think anybody really wants things in piss poor condition. I mean,
ignorant people.
I was gonna say, I'll amend my statement. There are some people who I guess you could call them like whatever you can get collectors. You know what I mean? Like, like people, and I'm sure there's some kid who still does the little Billy down. Remember when you were a kid, little Billy down the street? He would throw away all his game cases and manuals and put them in a fucking CD book, and it's like, oh, here's all my game. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure there's still somebody who does that, but each their own.
Yeah, it's just how I am
of things. I don't know.
In general. And it goes this way for work as well, which is where the name of the show comes from. Why are you still here? So obviously, you know, it comes from me talking a lot at work, but it also comes from me. I mean, I have like a reputation that I will do things to the best of my ability when it comes to like stocking or cleaning or whatever. So, I mean, there are closers, you know, Kim Fillmore, shout out to Kim Fillmore. There's closers like that won't even check me out because they know that I did it well. You know what I mean? So, and that's the way that I approach everything. You know, like if I can't do something to the best of my ability, I'm not going to do it at all. So I bet whoever's watching this video didn't think that they were going to be clicking onto some weird,
that's really
like speech.
So we'll move on.
Self-motivation speech or whatever.
So all related to collecting expensive entertainment memorabilia, essentially.
Yes. But
so,
you mentioned this.
Yes.
So I ended up buying a Wii that has, you know, the GameCube ports in it.
Baby.
Yep. And that's upstairs. I'm not bringing that down. No. So I'm going through and one by one buying the James Bond games yet again. And it's been an enjoyable experience for the most part. But again,
I just want to say on the record, this is what he said to me at work on Sunday, because today's Tuesday. He said, you know what? On second thought, get them all for Xbox, you nasty bitch. You're clogging up the market.
I was like, I don't need competition. Yeah,
that's what it was. You don't need competition. Because I was thinking, do I get them for the GameCube? Because I can get every single one of them, with the exception of From Russia with Love, in like 8 out of 10 condition, at least, maybe even a 9 out of 10 with the manual, black label.
Yeah,
for $10 a piece from my favorite store. I can't say, and everybody's gonna go buy it. Yeah. Or I can just
have
go
them there.
Yes, they have them all for PS2. They don't have the GameCube and Xbox games. They don't have as much of. And GameCube games just sell out like that, so I wouldn't expect to see anything for the GameCube. But they don't ever really have the James Bond games for Xbox, and I've been looking for them for like 2 months. But the PS2, they have every single one of them online.
And I'm no longer
to go to a store.
I'm no longer supporting the PS2. So
I know, and I just want this on the record, and again on the record. You said this to me like 2 years ago, maybe.
Yeah,
and I know you said this.
It's recorded. It's recorded. It's useful or useless. That,
I don't know if it's this exact quote. I don't know if it's on an episode, but you said that the PS2 was more powerful than the GameCube, and I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
Yeah, that wasn't a year ago. That was in useful. That was
okay.
Yep.
I couldn't remember if we said it at work or not, but I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to argue with him, but he's totally wrong. The GameCube is a powerhouse.
You did argue with me.
Okay.
It's there's a recording of it. So yeah, go check out that episode. Actually,
ding ding ding.
Yeah, it's not on my side. It's on this one.
On this loser side.
So yeah, it's go check that out because I do say that in there, and I was wrong. But
That's fine.
yeah, I mostly because you hook up a HDMI converter to a GameCube and you actually get something worthwhile to look at. You hook up an HDMI converter to a PS2 and it looks better, but it's like
so the GameCube, if the game supports progressive scan, I can play it on the 4K. But
yes,
if it doesn't, as you guys see right here, I have the old school CRT. It's hooked up. I have all my consoles hooked up to it, ready to go. And I can't play the PS2 on anything but that. On this, it looks how it was supposed to. It looks good. On that, no, it's not happening because it wasn't as digital.
4K,
there may be like
most 4K TVs don't have the composite or component cable jacks anymore either. The first like year they made them, they did, but
I have component cables for my PS2 and I do have a component output on my 4K. It was like one of the first 4K TVs, so it still had that.
Yeah.
But Brandon, actually, here, you know what? I'll show off these two older games now that we're talking about older games. And we talked about this before, and you're like, "Oh, I played this on the N64. I loved it." And I did not
say that.
You're wrong.
I said that I remember it for N64. Okay. I never played it.
And then he Googles it and says it came out for every system but the N64. Ooh, James Bond. Twice. You only see the movie twice. Get it? Anyway, Super Monkey Ball 2 is one of my favorite games of all time. I played a lot of that game in elementary school, middle school, high school, and in the car. I mean, that game has never left my life. Everybody I showed that game to just absolutely loves it. And this is Super Monkey Ball Deluxe. It came out in 2005. And it was on, I think it was on the PS2 and the GameCube. Star 3D. But this almost seems like a compilation of 2 in the other games. Yes, very good. Not the second one. But it has a lot of the same things from the second and first game. It's almost like a compilation. So if you're ever going to play it, I guess I'd suggest this one, but it's not the same game as the second one. It was weird.
Okay.
How many more games do you have? I have
2.
Okay, you go next then.
Okay. So I got this bad boy off of Amazon and they lied to me. The seller lied to me. Okay.
Oh, so I'm sorry. I didn't know it was from Amazon. I thought it was from eBay. If it was from Amazon, it was guaranteed basically to be new old stock.
Yeah,
which is what that was.
Yeah. It was supposed to be good shit, and Amazon signs off on it. So they're the ones responsible. So they're the ones that get in trouble for it, not the seller, which is funny. But yeah, it's this, which is sealed, still has the EA.
How much did you pay for it?
Security on it. It was,
asking.
It was like $50. And I was like, if that was going to be the black label,
that's
sealed,
fine
which was in the picture, I was like, fuck yeah. Like they're going for like $300 sealed, which, maybe I should have put 2 and 2 together, but I mean, still this one's sealed and it's old as ass. So you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I get this and I'm like,
wow.
No bueno.
So anyway. Yeah, for anybody who doesn't know, Brandon has a hard and fast no against greatest hits and player's choice. I don't, as long as the overwhelming majority of my collection is original print, and the games that I grew up with, like I mentioned to you at work, like Freak Style, Sly Cooper, I always had those as players or greatest hits. And
yeah,
that's what I like to see them as. Whatever. It's like slapping little kid Lucas in the face. You know what I mean? Like those are classic. So whatever. I don't really care too much, but I don't want them to be majority. That I think that would look kind of cool though. Like
they're like eyesores to me.
I don't care that much. Like I said, as long as I have the manual, that's my new thing. Is I really like manuals.
I've developed that one as well.
I don't like opening it. It's naked. It's empty. And so like
It
older
just has
games,
that warning thing shoved
or
in
not
there.
even,
That's
which
a
is
it's an
so
eyesore too.
so
Let me tell you.
that pamphlet that comes with the GameCube games, I want that too.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So
You never see it, but yeah.
Yeah, let me see if this is a good example. So actually, this isn't a good example of it, but it's a little bit more. I did pick this up. It was $14 complete. I had to get it. 358 and a half days for
Yeah, that's good shot.
the DS. So you'd get your pamphlet, a
Yeah.
registration card, and you get, you know, a full color manual.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any excuse for a game that's in this sturdy of a box.
Yeah.
I don't want it. I don't want to open up and not see anything. That's inexcusable.
Yeah.
I'll take some scuffies on the plastic, you know,
as long as it's on the plastic.
Yeah, see, like that. That's fine.
I can't even
Whatever.
see.
Yeah,
So.
I couldn't either. But
but if the art is damaged, I'm out of there. I'm out of there so fast.
There's just, and I understand like these were kid stuff, but I have my original PS2 games in great shape with the manual. So fuck off. I was a kid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's no excuse.
I took great care of my things. My GameCube version of Nemesis I got when I was like 9
11.
years old or something, and it is in flawless condition. Like it would fetch more money just because of the condition it's in. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, and of course it has everything included with it, the manual, blah blah blah, and no scratches, no scuffs, nothing. And sometimes people like to blame GameCube games for being like, well, you see, the art stuck out from the plastic, and that means that it actually was not in good condition. And it's like, not for me.
There are some PS2, GameCube, Xbox where they did. And I'll say this one. Oh God, I rearranged the game room, guys. So my game shelf is on the opposite. I can't reach it anymore.
It's bigger.
It's bigger, better, and more badass. That's about Gears of War 2.
Bigger, better, and uncut.
Yes. Bigger, longer, and uncut.
That's
like
it.
a dick.
That's it.
Oh my God, it's about a dick.
Oh no.
Anyway, that's gonna be the hook. I love that. So I'll just say this about this about this one really quickly.
Yeah, I have fond memories of that game.
Of this one. So I thought this was gonna be like because there was a period of time where they were experimental with DS games where they were full 3D, and other times where they were just like sprites with 3D assets. Like a Game Boy Advance game kind of would be like a beefed up one. This is a full 3D Kingdom Hearts game on the DS with cutscenes and voice acting.
Yeah.
When I played this, it blew my fucking mind.
Yeah, it's cool.
Because you can't get this one on the compilation ones. You can get like Birth by Sleep and Chain.
I was about to
say
this is the only way you can play this game, because the compilations have the cutscenes. They included the cutscenes to the game, which takes about 7 hours to get through. Okay. So but not the actual game itself. So
the same guy that traded in this obviously traded in this as well. Another one that you can't get.
Dream Drop Distance. Yeah.
Yeah. And again, this was a period of time. Look at this. Look at this. This is 3DS. Full look. Everything. Yeah. Original box art. If you get the original box art, you get the print in the back. Like, this is what I'm saying about collecting things complete, guys.
See, and that's not an eyesore either, because you know how much I hate the recycle cutout.
Oh yeah, this is beautiful. Every single one has a purpose.
They actually made it like art. You know what I mean? Like, fine, you want to use less plastic. I'm all on board with that, but make it look nice.
So this,
you know what I'm saying?
I plopped this one in to the 3DS. You know, I use my 2DS a lot, but for this, I'm like, you know what? This is a game you have to. I turn on the slider. Holy balls. Whoa. Yeah. It looks almost like a fucking GameCube game, dude. It's it's insane. So for I think it was like $25, I got these both complete.
That's
totally
badass.
awesome. Yeah, had to
Yeah.
get those. So you can go on to your next one.
I do have to mention before I do go to the last one that I have that so this is kind of weird. The player's choice ones stopped mentioning when
If it has progressive scan.
Yep, they stopped mentioning progressive scan on these. And I had like a moment where I was like, did they stop supporting progressive scan as with later versions? Because Everything or Nothing Black Label has it on the back where it says progressive scan. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you know what? I think you're right.
And I was like, what's going on here? And I went to Reddit and I asked the question, and I was like, did they just stop supporting it for the exact same game? And the guy responded to me and said they stopped mentioning it because component
Saves their
cables
ink. Oh,
stopped
because
being
of the
produced.
price.
So they weren't produced anymore. So why talk about
Which, by the way, everybody, perfect public service announcement that leads into Brandon's Wii pickup. I mean, not only is it good to have a system that plays 2-in-1, right? You have Wii games.
Yeah.
I would be fucking damned, people, if I'm paying $220 for not. It's just the video signal that you get. By the way, when you buy component cables for GameCube, you got to get the audio separately. It only has the 3 for the video, so you're paying more than $220. Okay, it's ridiculous. If you get a Wii and you get, but I got good component cables. I got the $30 like good shielded ones, so they're not shitty. For the Wii, you're gonna get 480p. You're gonna get it identical to what the GameCube is gonna give you, and you spent pennies on the fucking dollar. So don't.
Yeah, or
it'll give you when you start the game, which you have to use the Wii remote, which sucks. I hate that shit.
Oh my god, it's a pain in my ass.
So annoying. But it will always offer it right when you start the game up. Do you want progressive mode? Yes.
Yeah.
And it looks fucking
and it's
gorgeous.
A big difference because
massive
480i, which what does the I stand for? Interlaced.
So it means it's not.
It still looks good. Signal. I mean, that's what I've been playing. Agent
but the
Under
reason
Fire
why it
with,
looks so shitty on, well, so when it were on an old school TV like that, when it's interlaced, interlaced means the signal is literally split like this. That's what the scan lines are.
Yeah,
they alternate and flicker so fast, you can't see it. And that's what that black line is that scrolls when you record. CRT.
Yeah.
So when you're taking a flicker, that TV doesn't flicker. So it has to convert the signal. So it makes it laggy, makes it look worse. That's why people covet old school TVs. So a game that supports 480p isn't going to have that flicker. A game that's 480i will. So you have to have the cables. Anyway,
that's true. Agent Under Fire has looked pretty good, though, surprisingly good. But I am excited for when I get to play an actual progressive scan game, because the HDMI converter does the exact same thing that component.
It just converts the signal.
That component cables do. You're using the component signal.
Yeah, so it won't make it 1080p. It'll still be 480p, but it's just accessible to your TV.
Yes.
It needs to be said.
For people, like me, that have a TV that only has HDMI jacks in the back of it, it was my only way to go, and I'm happy I did it, because I was like, damn, it looked better than I even expected it did. And when you're on the regular home screen of the Wii, it looks like you're playing like it almost feels like you're playing something from this generation, almost. Almost a little blurry, but yeah, no, it's cool. And hopefully, fingers crossed, sooner than later, I have Galaxy 2 coming. So we'll see. But yeah, so yeah, the later Wii games, they have progressive scan enabled. They just stopped mentioning it, apparently. So and then lastly, I picked this up yesterday.
Nice.
And that I had I had it like a cretin. I had it only downloaded on my system, but this is how I justify it. I will download games that are only available for download on my system, and I always tell myself, as soon as it's available in physical, I will.
Is it a limited run game or? Is it
No, it
okay?
just finally came out. That's what they have been doing. Actually, that's how it is for um most games that come out where
Oh
it's
my
just
God,
download
Brandon, you know
only.
what? So many people are saying that these discs are going to be fucking worthless because of the digital future coming up. Do you know how much
Yeah.
fucking money these are going to be worth, even if
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
just a CD that unlocks a download code? Oh my God.
100%.
I don't regret having my Xbox and Switch collection physically one
Hell
fucking bit.
no. Hell no. And so yeah, I saw it and I was like, oh, that's out. So
Nice,
I bought
cool.
it, and it's a game that I've already been playing,
So are
but
you going to keep it sealed because you okay, so
finally,
I'll say this. I'm not a sealed
yes,
collector. If you have
yes.
it digitally and you
That's a
buy
good
physically,
question.
you can have it sealed.
I have a real big problem with I have um it's like a weird compulsive issue of mine that I just can't keep things sealed for
I
the
don't either. Even
life
if
of
I'm not
me.
going to play it for like a month, I still open it the day I get it.
Yeah, even if
Like
I'll
a
never
little
play it.
kid. Yeah.
Like I will never play this version of the game.
I
I'll
just
only be able to play the one, downloaded on the system, because it would be wasting time and energy to re-download something that's already down. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And so I maybe I'll keep it sealed, but
It's just having
I
a
like,
game, not for its intended purpose. It just sits there. It's just what's even the
yeah,
point then? Open it
I
and
know.
touch the CD,
I
put it in there.
have
It's cool.
some things that are still sealed, like when it comes to other collectibles, like I have a New York Comic Con Joker figure that was
Well, that's
exclusive
like a
to it.
figure. I mean,
Um
a game you're gonna
and
play.
I kept that in its packaging, and because it also has the sticker on it that says limited to, I think, 10,000. And there is some like old retro, and I say retro, but it was like, late 90s, early 2000s Halloween figures that I purchased that were in packaging, that I kept
Yes.
in packaging. But one that actually arrived, it was from Rob Zombie's Halloween, and it came with it's like the set for it to stand on, and it has the Myers tombstone and all that kind of stuff. And I was so happy that the package was messed up, because it was sealed, but the package was like had holes in it and
So it
shit. So
gave
I
you the
was like, it
fucking
justified
yeah.
me in opening it. Because I really just want to answer your question, I really want to open everything. And sometimes people yell at me, like Steelbook
No,
collectors
okay, so
yell
they're
at
fucking
me.
stupid. Okay, they can go fuck themselves. All right, like it's the
Yeah.
same, and it's the same elitist bullshit in the gaming community with people who fucking like with WADA, like with the graded games. When people send out a fucking game and it gets graded at like where it says like 90 plus and it's graded in that box, and then it gets sold for much more. Like that Mario bro. It was a Mario 64 complete in box. Oh god.
Yes.
That sold for $1.5 million fucking dollars because it was graded. You know how many sealed Mario
Yeah, I
64s
know. It's so
exist that are worth like
stupid.
$400?
Yeah.
Okay. So eat a dick. I hate people.
I keep seeing since I've been on
Video game kick.
this specifically like GameCube game kick.
GameCube collector is disgusting.
First off, I feel like I am like a kid in a candy store all over again. Like I'm like, I can I can get Chamber of Secrets, and I can get a Prisoner of Azkaban, and I can get Batman Begins. Like I feel like all of a sudden I transported back to 2005 or something.
That's why I love the game wall. All right. And speaking of game, so me and Brandon were talking about this at work the other day about the condition of everything. Like again,
Yeah.
you see, like there's some scuffies right there, but
yeah, it looks like it's specific to just the plastic though.
But I want you to look at what the disc looks like. That's
beautiful.
That's what I'm saying. Look, there's even a little hole in the middle, so you don't have to touch the bottom. Like that's
what she said. So hard.
I hate, and look, the manual.
Oh, I found a third.
No, how many fucking times did you go see that shit? Jesus.
3 times.
You found all 3 tickets. Anyway, so yeah, people. So I just have a couple more here. I don't have too much to say. I know one you're gonna want to talk about a little bit. So
saw that.
So
one
Brandon,
twice.
this game,
yes,
I picked this one up again. we're in that phase where PS3, 360, and PS4, Xbox One are all super duper cheap. I got this game for $1.99, and it's not that I never knew it existed. I just didn't pick it up. You know what I mean? It's not like a Scream situation where I was familiar with it at least. This one I never played it at all, so I had to get. Yes, so I had to get the first one
3D too.
I can see that. Yeah, that's sad.
It is sad, but yes,
and I'm waiting.
You don't have to respond to these when I put
to either berate me or not for this one. Do you play these games?
No.
Okay,
but
so I don't feel too
nothing.
Stupid.
I hold nothing against people that do.
Yeah, so it was just
I tried. It didn't grab me.
They made so many of them to where I figured, oh, it's a Call of Duty syndrome. I don't want anything to do with it. But you know, I'm rebuying some of the games. Like Brandon said, it makes you feel like a kid in a candy store where like here's the thing, like as kids, we had all the time in the world, no money to play, you know, for these games. Now we have all the money almost to buy the games that we wanted, no fucking time to play them.
Yeah.
Horrible. Why does the ticket look so small? Because it is.
It is small, yeah.
Wow. That's what she said. So here's another one. We mentioned this one in our 2000s nostalgia. We were talking about games. The Godfather game.
Yes.
I think the PS3 version might actually, I don't know if it runs better, but I think it's called the Don's edition or the Black Hand edition.
Yes. It probably,
I just know it has
this
different
is the
content
360 version that you have, right?
Yes. Yeah.
I would say it's probably runs comparable, but it does have extra content. Yes.
So this one came out, it came out on the PS2, Xbox, didn't get a GameCube release though, but it came out on the PSP as well with a, you know, the same version but watered down a little bit. And then when the 360 came out, because this came out before, 360 came out for PS3 a year. So this came out, and then the PS3 and the Wii came out the same year, 2006. So when Godfather came out for Wii and PS3, it was called the Black Hand or Dawn edition. They had to give you a different reason to buy the same game for a third time. So I'm going to play it for the first time. And again, I collect Xbox 360 for 3 reasons. I just love it. Had a lot of time spent with it. I already have most of the games on 360 anyway, and I love achievements. But Brandon, this game I had on the Wii because I have a thing for 2 things. Movie tie-in games. I fucking love them. I always have.
You got the Godfather on the Wii?
No. I got this game on the Wii.
Oh yeah, right.
Which it's the same, but a little bit different. They lop some things out. Assets are different. Standard def. It's like the PS2 one on the Wii, but you get the controls with the remote. It's nice. But I saw this one for $10. I figured, you know what? I'm just gonna get a PS3 game for once. I never get PS3 games, so I played it. I played the opening level. Darth Vader controls like a tank. He's fucking awesome in this game. Anyway, so I'm playing the first level. And it kind of ran at like 20 frames a second. It was a product of its time. But however,
get this on the because they had a period of time where they re-released all of these in like 4K for PS4. Yeah, for PS4. So Lucas, you can just play it on your PS4. Oh, that's right.
Well, if Sony would just make the PS5 available, then I would. And
you can download them on PS5 as well. So
no, but I want a disc PS5 so I can buy PS4 games.
I think that they might have released this. See, that's the thing, is they will do it. But for these ones, you know how you said for this Security Breach Five Nights at Freddy's, you're like, is that a limited edition? No, it's not. But for a lot of these that you're talking about, especially Star Wars, they will do it, but they are limited edition. So you have to jump on it so quickly. Like they released Bounty Hunter, Star Wars Bounty Hunter, which is a game that is, love it. It's so hard though, but I love it. And I play it on PS4, PS5, and they did release a physical version of it, but it was sold out so quickly, so.
Of course.
And now they're like $150 or something online.
But this one, even though I mean, might run better on 360. That's fine. Oh,
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Sometimes I just like to have a PS3 game, but
yeah.
What's cool though is and I didn't know they did this. They did this for a lot of games. They updated these, you get a software update with fucking trophy support. So like a lot.
Oh, I know.
I was
tell me about it.
I was playing Fallout 3 a couple of years ago, and I was like, when did this game get trophies? Because I got Fallout 3 back when it came out on PS3. What trophies back then?
No, man.
Not even DualShock support. Like these games get, it's like all this shit's updated. It's cool.
It's great.
So
you can tell when they care though, and when they don't care. And they had to get it out as quickly as possible by the way the trophies are named. If anybody out there listening
what they should
have
done is just taken the 360 achievements and just done the same thing over, because that's what nowadays is what they are. Maybe parody.
And maybe that's what they do, but sometimes it's like really funny and clever. Like the James Bond games for PS3, it was always very clever sayings from the movies and stuff like that.
Yes.
And then sometimes it's literally borderline has typos in it, like it's all written in lowercase. And
I've seen it's the same thing on Xbox. Some of them are done really grandiose and some are done like a fucking child. So it just depends on the developer. It's not like a Sony or Microsoft. They don't oversee it. It's just a feature, you know what I mean? So
I played Quantum of Solace for the first time without trophies, and I went back to it a few years later and I was like, wait a minute, what? And then I had to rebeat it.
Of course. Yes. But
trophies, okay, all right. Nothing's better than trophies.
Oh God.
Everybody loves trophies.
Anyway, Donald. Okay. Oh fuck. Hi, Duncan.
He has some very strong opinions on video games, and I don't think I want to hear
it. So perfect segue. We have our workplace horror stories that will come out next week. We'll do this one on Friday, obviously.
Yep.
And then we have Brandon with his solo debut.
Yes.
Is it this week or is it next week?
It's this week. It's by when this episode comes out,
it'll have already
it'll already be out. It'll as soon as I finish editing it. It's boring as fuck. I'm sorry for anybody that watches it. Yeah,
it's hilarious.
It's my God. I'm super happy. I learned something though through
You're
this.
A charismatic guy though, you know.
I try, and I watch it and I'm like, okay, so it's not as bad as I thought it was when I was actually recording it. I recorded it on Friday, and after work I was exhausted, and the worst shift of my life. And so I'm like,
basically everybody, Friday was fucking ass. Let's not talk about Friday.
It was horrendous. And so it was just like, I'm like, I don't know. This seems like this is going to be a disaster. I talked for like 45 minutes. And it was just like, whatever, we'll see how this is. And it's not quite as bad as I thought it was right at that moment, but it does seem like it is kind of boring. I don't know if I could ever do like a YouTube channel just by myself. Like that's what I learned from that experience, because I'm like, you have to be not just charismatic, but charismatic on such a high level.
If you do, you can't do it in this format. You know what I mean? It's got to be edited. There's no talk. There's no point in shoot anymore. I mean, you got to be at angles. You got to have B-roll. You got to do all this kind of advanced. You got to color correct your shit. Like you have to use 4K on your iPhone. You're not using a webcam. You know what I mean? Like it's not this.
Right. So, that's true.
You could have done it 16 years ago. You know, when YouTube was brand new. You can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
So
it's it's interesting. But so that this video succeeds my solo outing, so which is it was written up here today before I erased it, but the Secrets of Dumbledore review, so check that out. But yeah, there was something you mentioned earlier where you said, I know that there's going to be a video game that you're going to talk a lot about. And I was thinking, what is that? You'll
Are
see.
you waiting
If
for
you
me to
don't,
tell you?
if,
Or are
yeah,
you
I
gonna tell
don't know.
me?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, I thought we were talking about was it about Lego Star Wars? I thought you were gonna talk more about that one.
Oh,
I
yeah.
thought you
Well,
played it.
not really. Yeah, because I hadn't played it.
All
So,
right, then never
yeah.
mind. That's nothing.
I said that when I held it up. I was like, it's still sealed. And then you were like, do you keep everything sealed? And I was like, no, I just haven't played it yet.
Well, it sparked a good conversation anyway.
Indeed. But I look forward to it. I mean, if you want me to talk about it, I can lie. No,
No,
I bought The Force Awakens when that came out. And I had a delightful time with that game. My God. That
I
was
think in this new
Lego
one,
Force Awakens, obviously.
I'll say this is the last thing I'll say just about the game stuff. We talked about upcoming, had our nice pickups. We had a very good conversation about collecting today with movies and games. I didn't expect that. That was probably the highlight of the day.
Indeed.
Yes, that was very, very organic. Call it Whole Foods. Oh God, that was so bad. I lost my train of thought.
Bad
Oh,
Lucas.
so if the third person shooting wasn't in the new Lego Star Wars game and the graphics weren't so fucking good, because
Yeah.
it's like you can see where like the plastic meets the molding and
Yeah,
like
yeah,
the way the
yeah.
light reflects. I mean,
Right.
it's insane.
Yeah.
But if it didn't have the third person and like the new lightsaber stuff, the game would have been not worth the $60. But the blaster shit is awesome in third person.
I mean, keep in mind, I spent $60 on a game that was only The Force Awakens.
That sucks. I'm sorry.
So,
yeah, this is all 9 of them.
But I loved it though. That was the thing. It was great because when they do, it doesn't seem like something they really do anymore. It died with The Force Awakens. They never did a Last Jedi one, and so on and so forth, despite the fact that it was like promised to us and people were waiting for it. That would have been the only good thing that came from that movie. But they really reenact the entirety of the movie in Lego form.
It's awesome.
It's not just segments of it or whatever. It's the entirety of it. And I loved Lego Dimensions. I was so much
You're the
of a
only
Lego
person
Dimensions
I've ever
supporter.
heard talk about Lego Dimensions. You're literally the only person.
And that's the problem.
Ever.
That's the problem. It was amazing. And because I love Lego just in general. And I love video games, and like you combine that, and it was great. And you were able to play video games basically that
with your toys
that you never would have seen a video game for otherwise. Like there was a Doctor Who world, Doctor Who had its own hub world that had all these little Easter eggs in there and missions and all that kind of stuff. And every time you died, like if you're playing as the Doctor, every time you died, you regenerated as the next Doctor. Like it was so funny because that's what happens in Doctor Who. They only regenerate when they die. So you could throw yourself off the side of a cliff and then you'd come back as the next Doctor. And it was just, riding the TARDIS around and the literally the effort and the attention to detail they put into the fact that when you're a specific version of the Doctor, like the 11th Doctor, and I know this means nothing to you, but anybody, somebody watching that might know what I'm talking about. If you're the 11th Doctor and you go inside the TARDIS, the console room is the 11th Doctor's console room. And then if you're playing as the third Doctor, you go into the TARDIS. It was the third Doctor's console room. Like they made the TARDIS look different inside for every single incarnation of the Doctor. And which is, from the TV show. And that was just one aspect of it. I mean, they had worlds for pretty much all WB properties. Like if you're a fan of WB, Lego Dimensions was for you. Beetlejuice, Scooby-Doo, Back to the Future. I mean, anything that's a WB property, they made worlds out of it. They made missions out of it. And it was also combining everything together. There was the main game, the Lego Dimensions game, where you're going in and out of the dimensions. There was a whole story, full voice cast, awesome cutscenes, and Batman was one of the main characters, so you're playing as Batman and all of that kind of stuff. And like the Simpsons, that was a big thing. The Simpsons was a world to itself, and the only way that you access the other worlds was you went to the store. And it was like that other game. I can't think of what it's called. Disney, where you buy like the figures.
Disney Infinity.
Yeah, it was like it was WB's answer to Disney Infinity. And you go to the store and you buy like a pack, like the Doctor Who pack, right? And then you put it together, and it had like a little circular base, and you put that character with the circular base onto your little,
oh god,
your thing, right? I can't think of what it was called, but you had like a thing that came included with the game, and then all of a sudden they transport it into the game immediately. You put it on there, they transport it into the game, and you were able to access their world from that. And
well, tune in for Brandon's Lego Dimensions retrospective, because
it makes me sad. Honestly,
I have nothing to say about Lego Dimensions, so I can't really contribute to that right now.
I don't like talking about it. I got to be honest with you, because it really makes me sad that it ended up just dying. And I'm like,
unfortunately, I'm gonna get ready to go die myself. I'm taking the Lego Dimensions route.
I will say as well,
you have to say, and then I have to go.
In conclusion about Lego Dimensions, they also that was where the Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them game was as well. It was in 100% through Lego Dimensions, and it was a lot of fun. But yes, the very last thing I will say is the fact that I have this. These are the last 2 tickets. Logan Lucky. This is Daniel Craig's finest performance ever. He is a Southern kind of white trash guy in that movie. And the Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus. Heath Ledger's last
final movie
performance. So, but yeah, that's it. Thanks for joining us. And,
yes, thanks for watching us show off our hoarding tendencies. What this is. All
indeed. And it's not that long. That's kind of interesting. We've been recording forever, it felt like, but it's like only an hour. So it should be a relatively brisk,
easy
episode as well. So
yes.
All right. Bye, everybody. Thanks for joining us.
Play some video games. I really don't want to go to work now.